Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the commentary desk. My name is Bart, Reels, F. And we are waiting for game number 3 of Paradigm versus Titan, all squared at 1 apiece.
That's a really long name, Bart, Reels, F.
Yes, yeah. I'm from Albania.
Oh, really? Are they hyphenated?
You're pronouncing it terribly.
It happens. But we're going into game 3, folks. Game 1 was...
Do Albanians have long names?
Not really,
That was like a grab bag, just pick a country and hope
I know Andre Shehu. That's a very short name.
Yeah, exactly.
Shouts to Andre.
Shout out to Albania as well. Thanks for letting me be part of your country momentarily there. It was nice.
So game 1 was domination. Titan comes out and just rolls all over Paradigm. Really not a good look. But... quarterback memory for Paradigm. They come back in game 2 as
you probably need to explain that reference as we have a lot of international viewers.
I did yesterday.
Oh, okay, fair enough. All right.
So very quick to forget the problems that they had in game number 1. As Real said, well played win. It wasn't accidental. They fought hard for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a really good job. Trix, Cubo Fred played a sensational game. Great rotations from Zalia. Lobster was farming up mid.
Ban Geb.
And Fumble did what he needed to late game.
Right.
So
this is crazy, dude. We have some craziness coming out. So, Ratatasker, Alquang, one of them's guaranteed through. Mm-hmm. And I think Titan's thinking if they should ban Geb, because I think Paradigm will first pick Geb.
That's what the thought is. Here we have Confrey with the Chudat pose right now, and they're going to go ahead and get Aoquan off of it.
So they're going to take the Ratigan of the Paradigm. I think they have to. It was so good in that last game.
Yeah.
Of course, locked in, but Titan... we're not going to see Bologna here. I think this is going to be Geb.
There's no way they're going to
Yeah.
That was a huge problem for them.
They'll take their own Geb Freya this time around.
Funball is just too strong on the Freya. I mean, that's the Reels Funball god. The Freya is so strong. I mean, you've been playing against Funball for a long time. How long has he been potent on this character?
Well, to be honest, he didn't really do that much last game, to be honest with you. He really didn't early game. He really didn't do what he needed to. But his team done really well. And late game, he done what he needed to. But they just didn't want that pressure from Freya late game.
Mm-hmm.
Bumble, with the team comp they had, was doing a lot more than the Medusa was doing late game. And they just don't want that pressure again.
On her and Bologna going to be locked in here from Paradigm. Their duo lane likely shaping up there. We saw On her actually banned late in the banning phase of the last game as well. So.
Yep. Anna has a really good laning phase versus Freya. It's a good pick into it. Combined with a disarm from Bologna, it should be pretty good.
Yeah, a couple of tools, right? Pushing Freya away makes her steroids pretty much nulled, and as does the disarm, maybe a little bit more obviously there. But the final pick before the next set of bans coming through from Titan, and well, you know, thinking back on Titan, it's like these guys almost never get out of a LAN with a clean victory. Their series seem to always go 4 or 5 games.
I think that's a testament to the type
pretty
of
Vulcan.
And that's I asked for it. Ask and you shall receive.
So
this is the character.
Paradigm bans a Wheelish here. Yeah.
Yeah, mate. That's
Almost
what I was
certainly.
just thinking. Maybe they're trying to look for the what do you call it? A Willix?
Well, it's a
Wheelish.
It's a Wheelish technically.
A Wheelish.
X's are like a she sound in South American culture, but we can call it a Wheelish.
She-Balanki.
Yeah, for the sake of this. Yeah, it's not X-Balanki, is it?
X-Balanki, excuse me.
Xbox Live Arcade. Ice is banned out by Titan here. Will Paradigm see the possible Wheelish strat coming out?
I think they're thinking about it.
I think I mean, with Geb Vulcan, I mean, those are the two that you really, really want if you're going to pick her. I mean, AoE knockups. They banned Kali. Oh boy, here it comes.
Definitely going to see the Willix pick here.
I think it's a lock.
Mm-hmm. It's got to come. And I mean, for those of you that are a little bit new, there's the Awilish pick. The Awilish, her ultimate actually pulls anybody in the air will be pulled directly to her. Vulcan and Geb with very, very easy, low cooldown knockups just open the door for that combination.
On her is also extremely reliant on his leap to deal damage, and Awilish able to blow that up fairly reliably.
Really bad ban on Kali there by Paradigm, I think, to be honest. That's what they beat us with in the SPL games as well. They beat us with the Geb-Willix combo.
I mean, you got to think, once that Willix was picked in, they all kind of just collectively sighed and were like, oh, no.
There you have Cubo looking not too thrilled as Aphrodite's going to be picked up one more time alongside the Chronos. It worked last time around. I loved the play, as Reels was pointing out. Lobster did everything he needed to do. There was more potential there, and maybe we'll see it this time.
I'm worried about the Aphrodite, though. I mean,
agreed.
Cabrakan did so much in that last game, even though he wasn't really at the forefront of farm or levels and actually gave up a few kills and some lane. His rotations and his setups were fucking so good, so it was really, really tough.
I don't really know why we're going. Frankly, I don't know why we're playing this solo lane. I want to see more emphasis. I want to see more. I want Paradigm to just curse Titan out of the box.
This is a great matchup for the Hades, right? Into Aphrodite. It's really, really nice for him.
Sure. I mean, this is definitely, I'll tell you right now, as soon as this series is over, I'm going to be speaking to Paradigm in general. Just ask why the Aphrodite. I don't understand.
See, the thing is here,
It made sense with Kali.
with the Geb and the Vulcan, the Awilix is going to be looking to be near the Geb and the Vulcan at all times. So her presence in the jungle is mainly going to be Gold Fury side. So you may not see much presence around the Hades. So the Hades dashing in on every wave, the Rat might be able to get some good ganks off and put the Afro in a good position. And from there, it could be very bad for Titan.
Yeah, going the other way though, right? If they are able to get that pull on a Wheelish, you know, you got to think Paradigm's going to try to collapse there and save their teammate, and that's where Hades can really blow up those rotations. So, yeah, this one feels like it's going to be very unstable. Like it's going to fall either way very quickly.
Exactly. Yeah. This could definitely go anyway.
Yeah, it's tough to predict length of game these days, but I think 15 minutes will be where we see the oh no direction when things start to teeter in either side of the coin. I think it'll be about 15 minutes. I don't think we're going to see a 25-minute stalemate. I think we'll see 15 minutes and then either a Wheelish pulls 37 people to their deaths or Kronos is doing what Kronos needs to do. So that's where I'm looking. I'm looking for Lobster. This is Emel's time to shine. Lobster needs to come out and make this Kronos pick. He did what he had to do. We need to see him go above and beyond this time around.
I think they're going to be really disappointed if Paradigm lose this game, though, because if they do fall far behind, they end up losing this game because of the Vulcan Geb Awilix combo. They're going to look back and think,
we should have banned it.
We should have banned it.
Also, you know, we lost to, you know, we'll call it cheese. I mean, it's not really very cheesy. It's actually pretty high execution, but like you're going to lose to something that's kind of one of those like built-in synergistic kind of play styles.
Right.
It's really, really tough. I mean, we saw it actually a little bit with like kind of that Freya Sylvanas, like the banish into root, into pull, you know, like should have been a first blood, kind of same situation there. So, and also we've seen Titan been pretty happy around keeping their jungler around that mid lane. We're pretty prime, should be able to find some knockups onto Lobster. But another thing I want to point out here is that the Awilish versus Ratatasker matchup in the team fights is really tough for Awilish because she really only has her one leap. Ratatasker obviously is very, very mobile. Has plenty of damage to deal with her. She doesn't really have any kind of self-peel. She doesn't really have very much. She has to rely on getting the Feather Step to avoid most of the damage from the Acorns. Really tough.
And that's the Feather Step is a huge point when you're looking at characters like Poseidon to avoid giant burst damage. But look down the line of Paradigm. Zelia has a dot. Cuvo Fred is going to hit you multiple times. Lobster is basic attacks. Trix Tank is basic attacks. And Funball is basic attacks. There really is no huge chunk that you're going to be avoiding with that invulnerability frame. So that's not really going to help. It's going to be all about the aggression on the side of that Wheelish for Titan.
And this is a great start by Paradigm here. They went to the purple buff. They knew they were stronger. They stopped them taking it, and this is already a win for Paradigm. They're going to push this wave here. They're going to get the out clear, and now they're going to look to pressure the purple.
Yeah, Bellona, really, you know, what was the big turning point for her to becoming a support? I mean, we saw her be mostly a jungler and solo laner all in split 2. Yeah,
well, it's a flex pick, you know. You can put it wherever, and she does well in support, and here you go. Look, they push the wave, and they go straight to pressure the purple buff. Fumble's letting Trix Tank solo the purple buff here, and he's just zoning them out because they're still level 1. He's just hit 2.
This looks like it's going to go to Paradigm. We do have Kanye Life rounding the corner, a good knock-up, and the disarm. Beautiful.
Wow.
But does he have the dash? No, it's an early weakening curse. Trix Tank, actually, he's going to give up first blood here, won't he? Once he gets this dash of time, he's level 2. Funball going to have to get the pin. He will get it indeed. Kanye Life, one more knockup, not going to do it. Here comes Reppy as well. Going to jump up. Suku not going to get the knockup. Trix Tank turns around. A brilliant play there. Kanye Life going to try to turn the corner. Will he get the kill here? Trix Tank trying to kite. Disarm comes out. Funball knocks him 2. First blood. Nonetheless, they do pull their mid laner as well. Here comes Kronos. I don't think they get anything back out of this. QO Fred wants to try to make something out of nothing, but it's a clean first blood for Titan for the 3rd game in a row.
So unfortunate. It was awesome to see the turnaround to avoid the knockup from the bowling ball that I like to call out of a Wheelish, but unfortunately does not go the way. Well, unfortunately for Paradigm, does not go their way. Titan picks up first blood in the 1st minute of the game.
I think definitely that instead of trying to zone him, Fumble should have been at the purple buff with him, auto-attacking it, so they could get it quicker and they just get out of there. The dual lane of Titan, they can't rotate into the purple buff while they got a full creep wave in their face at level 1. You know, they have to clear the wave first. Fumbler should have been in the purple buff with him, helping him take it. They get the purple buff, and then he's already there to help peel. He wouldn't have taken all that damage.
The creeping curse is what sealed the deal. The beginning, and that's one of the biggest changes. Again, not necessarily going to pick up Hog. You're going to pick up a different active to start the game. The creeping curse is what got that first blood. Incredible pickup for the Titan support.
Yeah, well, it synergizes pretty well with Bellona as well. You know, she's very good in handing. Here comes Ratatasker. I'm sorry, that's Trix Tank who's actually turned the corner there. Got a decent amount of damage out of the Pretty Prime. Pretty Prime getting a bit low in mana as well. maybe uncomfortably low, and forced to put a turret in a kind of defensive orientation there to save himself from getting dove. Funballer, he seems to be having no problem, though, with this duo lane, even though they've given up the first blood. He's perfectly happy to sit here and farm. Here comes Trix. Geb shield.
I mean, you play a lot of on her reels. This character is one that you can definitely leave alone. Your wave clear is fine, and you're ready to fight.
Very safe god, very safe god. You got his ult immune, and you got a jump. He should be perfectly okay. The thing that needs to be careful of is here is the first blood went to the Willix there, so I mean that was a perfect start for Titan.
The rest of it as we resume play. We're looking at the solo lane now, and there's Zelia's Aphrodite, level 6, but underneath the tower one more time. Mid camps. Not a huge focal point in this new meta, but still definitely a small objective to be grabbed. Paradigm will pick up the left side camps. The right one's about to spawn. We'll see if Paradigm sends himself over that way, and it looks like they will. So they'll pick up both mid camps, and that will keep them pretty much even with Titan here in the early game.
Yeah, the mid camps have kind of gone from, I mean, we saw their XP and gold bounties being reduced a bit, but they've gone from being kind of this obligatory objective every 3 minutes to something that it's kind of important to secure, especially if you go for that start that Paradigm has been going for, where your mid laner gets a bit behind. Being able to secure both of those mid camps, right, allows you to kind of get them back onto the curve of the rest of the team. So they've become more of a tactical kind of part of the game rather than a strategic part of the game.
I mean, last time around we would see hunters rotating out of the lane for this intense fight.
Right.
How much communication? Hold that thought. Jump in for the stun onto Ataraxia. The Hades in a little bit of trouble. There's the ultimate. It's a race against time. DPS versus DPS, and Ataraxia will fall. Trix tank. The support for Paradigm gets credit for that one.
Did you see that Cuba? Fred dashed in, and he was going so fast you couldn't even see the character. And all of a sudden he showed. I was like, whoa, Ratatasker out of nowhere. There he is. Yeah, he came in there and able to secure that kill. It's a nice return kill onto the Hades. Always nice to keep Hades down a bit. That's just, he's fine. Hades is manageable when he's kind of like at level. When Hades has like a 2-level advantage on you, it's just the worst.
I mean, because you're going to take a couple of ticks of that ultimate.
Yeah.
And getting out when it does a lot of damage is problematic.
Just before that gank happened, this was what I was about to say. With Titan, with that little lead they got, the Willix need to completely pressure the goal through side of the map. They got the Geb knock up, they got the Vulcan knock up, and the Anher's got a jump. So they got like 3 different ways they can be pulling people and putting up pressure and force the Rat to be helping his team in this side of the map. And just try and make sure Hades is on his own, pressuring the Afro. That's what they need. They just need the solo laners to be alone, so the Hades can pressure the Afro. Afro has no impact. She gets super far behind, and they just put a ton of pressure. The Willix was farming. They had no pressure anywhere at the time. Paradigm knew that. They all went over to solo lane, and Hades dashing in on the wave. It's almost a free kill for them.
Look at this sprint 2 from Geb. I mean, obviously this will eventually move its way into holy agility, but just goes to show you how much that first blood hurt.
Yeah, it's the slows. The Geb with the sprint 2 will be able to shed the slows, which if you're not able to land, if you've ever seen a Geb slowed during rollout, it is painful.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, until that immunity kicks in, it's really, really nasty. But, you know, as you mentioned, maybe a Wheeler should be over the left side here, starting to pressure, but it's Ratatasker already over here, and the rotation coming towards mid lane from Paradigm's duo. Looks like they want to force a fight. Kanye-Light's going to move forward, as will Lobster. Lobster realizes the fight's coming out. He's going to go for the rewind. It's going to come out, and here comes the rest of Paradigm. Leaping down is Cubo Fred. They're going to look for Kanye Life, it appears. Geb shield, not enough just yet. Eagles rally with the score. Trixtank secures that kill. And it's a second kill now for Paradigm to the 1 of Titan. Creeping Curse used by Trixtank to try to slow down Confrey, and he will not be able to close the distance there. And one thing we didn't actually take a look at is, did Confrey go into that Achilles spear again? He did not. It will be the sprint for him this time around.
Funball going to be chased out a little bit, going to be safe underneath the tower, or, well, in his own jungle. Right there we saw, well, not the problem, but one caveat with this Wheelish that we've talked so much about. It's the ultimate. You're only going to get one pull. You pull the Chronos, he's going to rewind, and everybody's in a world of hurt afterwards. So if you don't get the combo, if you don't get that kill right away, you only get one. It's not a 1-2-3 ability. It's the ultimate. So long cooldown for it. Unfortunately, does not go the way of Titan, and Paradigm secures another kill onto their support.
Yeah, Titan will have a pretty tough time finding kills until Ataraxia is able to leave the solo lane. That silence is really going to be very helpful in securing kills on these mobile characters. Well, 7 minutes in, guys. 2-1. Still in favor of Paradigm here. The gold is basically even, but you see the experience is trending towards the boys in yellow and black. 2,700 experience to their credit. Gold, obviously, a wash. As you see there, that first blood did go to Titan, but the experience, I mean, really out-farming the map is Paradigm here.
You know, instead of the, they got a really good matchup with the Anher Freya here, and you see there he rotated a lot quicker.
Again, this time around, also throwing the Vulcan out, and Pretty Prime secures the kill. Trickstank want to turn things around, but there's nothing here. Titan comes in, gets the kill, and immediately turns around. They got what they came for, and they're going back home.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what they need to do, right? They have to lock down a target and kill them before they're able to use his abilities, but recognizing that Kronos' ult was on cooldown.
Yes.
This is a very difficult... Lobster's going to have a really tough time here.
Yeah. And that's what Teddy tried to do the first time when you just saw it a minute ago. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
And because it didn't happen, the Kronos got the rewind off. Basically, all the damage they just done was completely irrelevant, and then they got counter-initiated on.
Well, 4 members of Titan over here in the jungle for Paradigm, sniffing out that purple buff, not going to find it, and Funballer sitting happily underneath his towers on her.
No problem. I mean, one impale will clear the wave, right, Reels?
Well, you got to in-hand the big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still safer and easier than most of the other hunters out there. I mean, Rom, you got to sit there for what seems like an hour shooting arrows into it. Freya, don't even talk about it on her. Throw a couple of spears.
Yeah, chuck some spears.
Very, very safe.
This is maybe some of the faster Warlock sashes we've seen, ever. Both of them up and running pre-9 minutes. I mean, that's really, really, really fast.
Yeah, it usually comes around 12.
Yeah, it's usually like around like 11 to 12. It's like, okay, if you don't have it done by then, like maybe you should go E-Staff, but yeah, I mean, 17 stacks as well. It's 3 waves now that Hades has had. I mean, he got that thing around 7 minutes probably.
Wow. Yeah, even 9 on the Aphrodite. To be fair, it's solo lane. You're getting that solo experience 100% of the time. Jungler's really not hanging out there as much.
Oh, I feel you, but go get an 8-minute Warlock sash in a public game. It's not that easy.
All right, I'll see you guys later.
Yeah. Thanks, have to report back. We'll see you in 20.
But yeah, really smart play from Paradigm. The 3-man rotation over to the solo lane. They recognized that there was no pressure happening on the left side of the map. They rotated over there. Their solo lane is in a great position at the moment.
Trickstank trying to force out Comfrey's ultimate here, but instead they're going to get counter-initiated on the knock-up into the pull. Funballer dead before he can move. That Feather Step holding him in position so he can't leap. But here comes the Squirrel. But unable to close the distances, Fred, even with that high mobility ultimate. And Titan continue to just move the wheelish around the map and find kills, as Reels was saying they really should be.
It looked like a questionable engage on the left side. The Creeping Curse came out from Trix.
From Trix, yeah.
Yeah, Reels, what were they looking for? Was there kill potential that we're not seeing?
I think they were either trying to just force the Freya ultimate quick and burst her down after, or just try and get a quick kill maybe before she ulted, or just try and get some pressure. But the thing is, the Anher got pulled straight back on his jump. He could have maybe just carried a run in and used the ultimate to go immune and just not jumped. Would have been the best option. But maybe he didn't realize there were Wicks behind him. I'm not sure. He jumped away, got pulled back, died before he used his ult, and it was
also a little bit questionable here. Funballer going to return to lane without beads.
Yeah,
not even beads 1 here. So. No. I assume that he just had enough gold to finish off his boots here.
Yeah, can we take a look at gold in hand real quick to see just how much? And
yeah.
Not enough for Funball to be able to pick up the beads. So I'm sure that was a question, but deciding that the faster run speed will help him out just a little bit more. Confrey is going to be using his beads right there as the stun from Trickstank is good, but the beads are just a little bit better to turn gold and shed that CC.
But yeah, 3-minute beads popped by Confrey with no real danger of dying there. A small misplay. We'll see if Paradigm capitalize on it here.
Or a huge misplay, as Dan Brandon would say.
Yes, yeah. Literally tens of gold being exchanged here.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Shots, dude? You get comfortable on the desk taking shots now? I see you, Reels.
Well, where Reels is from, it's just banter.
Funballer.
Oh,
jeez.
Yeah.
I think this one, it's starting to trend the way that you said that it might, which is that it's going to be really tough now, looking and going, like, man, why did we ban Kali?
Yes, and the on her just pushes the fact. You don't need the setup on her jumps. You push the button. All you need is a quick trigger finger, and Replikas has shown that he is not afraid of it.
He had beats there as well.
Yeah, now with the Jotun's Wrath, he's just bought them. But with Jotun's Wrath now finished from Wheelix with these early kills, right, getting that cooldown reduction really up and running quickly means that just even more of these ganks are going to be possible. Gold Fury going to be started and completed uncontested from Titan. Like the first Gold Fury of the game and the first real advantage in the gold column, although it still is just a hair over 1,000. I'm sorry, over 2,000 now that they're up. Experience nearly normalized, but still ever so slightly in favor of Paradigm.
And this time around, Paradigm doesn't have the they have the Kronos, but it's not the same as we've got Kali Aphrodite. Hang on, there's late game here, folks, but it's not the same bastion of we'll do it.
And how can Cubo Fred really perform without the Geb shield? I mean, that gives you a ton of confidence to make those big plays.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, he is a great rap player, but Fumble are dropping behind here. It's going to be super, super hard for them, especially versus a comp. They've got a Willix and they have Freya. Freya is going to be able to outscale the Anher now fairly quickly. I mean, looking at the items now, the Freya's got boots online and a full Fatalis, so I don't even think Fumble can trade with him right now. He's just counter clearing all the waves.
And I don't want to keep harping on it, but I'm going to mention it one more time. Aphrodite is just not going to bring what Paradigm really needs to the table.
You know, well, actually, I don't know about that here because specifically a Wheelish and the way they're getting most of these kills and all their momentum, it's a single target-based composition. Unless they hit like something like, you know, the Kanye life into Pretty Prime, huge AoE, and with Ataraxia on top of it, right? They really are more of a single target, isolation-based team. They have some good team fight potential, but it's mostly counter initiation. So if Aphrodite is able to get the right target as Trix Tank, being that right target, unfortunately, will go down. But if Aphrodite is able to immune that target that did get pulled, they maybe can turn around. Yeah. And as you see, here's Xaylia. They're going to actually eat the Hades ultimate as well as the Vulcan over the top, but a nicely placed Undying Love from Xaylia is going to keep them from dying, and they'll get the stun on Ataraxia. But just a consolation prize. 1-for-1 traded. Trix Tank the support, traded for the jungler of Repicos, but the duel coming down in the duel lane here. Funballer forced to run, mostly due to the creeps there. He could have stood and fought perhaps with just the ultimate from Confrey, but those archers just do too much damage.
And you see now already, like, it is meant to be a good matchup. Anher versus Freya, it's meant to be pretty easy for the Anher, you know, but already he's got a little bit behind, and the Freya's got 600 gold ahead of him already, so it's going to be super hard from here for the Anher.
Yeah, especially when, you know, Freya with her passive gets that base lifesteal there. So, you know, in the past we saw Freya's, you know, almost always go into early Bancroft talents to really accentuate that sustain versus Diva's Gloves, but as Diva's Gloves has become less and less viable as an item overall, more stacks, a little bit less lifesteal, you know, you've seen them skip that for the Demonic Grip right away, and Freya will be able to bully on her and trade really, really effectively.
And the thing is, with that matchup, it is, if you're behind, it is really hard. She banishes him, she starts auto-attacking him, slowing him. If you miss the first couple of in-hands when you drop out of the banish with Anher, you have to run away.
Yeah, you're so far behind,
Here on the right side, the Titan knows that Cuvo is here, but I don't think they knew that Trix Tank and friends were here. There's 4 members of Paradigm now on the solo lane.
It's a nice timing push for them. They see the wave all the way pushed up. They'll make the aggressive play into the jungle and take the consolation prize of the Tier 1 tower. And hell, why not a Fire Giant while we're at it? No, it's just a recall. I saw Trix Tank there, and I was like, are they really going to do this? And that's some serious chutzpah.
It's 15 minutes in. I don't think we'll see a Fire Giant that early just yet. But the Blink Cataclysm is large, and the ultimate from Vulcan is larger. Pretty Prime on the mark for his first kill, his second kill to those ultimates, the third overall.
We were talking about this actually during the last, I think the game, the Fnatic set yesterday, was that, you know, when you see pro players hit the jump button, it's generally because they're a little frustrated. And there you saw Lobster, he was like, well, this one's going one way. I already know how this one goes, and oh, you are just so very, very dead, Funballer.
Behind the tower is Titan, and they're going to go ahead and secure the kill.
Like a good like Kanye life there. Was trying to actually get that kill onto one of his carries, but and it is forced to kind of take it away. A Wheelish Feather Step, and this is what we talked about, that matchup with Ratatasker. She doesn't have really any options to peel for herself in that case. And I think maybe that's the answer. QFred counter-initiating onto the Wheelix more often than not. But that does like kind of suggest that somehow the Geb isn't there to put a stone shield down and save her life. So it's definitely going to be tough for the boys of Paradigm now as Titan takes the advantage and continues to roll with it. Still 2,000 gold and the experience still basically even. But that Gold Fury separating the teams mostly now for Titan.
I mean, look at this. A Wheelish 2-2-4. We've said her name a lot. She's doing a lot of work. But QL Fred has been extremely efficient. He's 2 levels above.
3
now. So, I mean, able to do so much, able to stay relevant. QL Fred is being one of the most efficient players that we've seen all weekend.
Yeah, he's had the experience advantage more often than not. Let's take a look here. See the player damage there. Look at Kronos. Ooh, Lobster struggling. 1,700 damage dealt in these fights so far.
Not where he wants to be, but Kronos is a character that is a late game god.
He ramps up over time, certainly. Yeah.
So we'll see in just a couple of minutes. It's 16.5. He's level 15. Once Kronos hits that level 17, level 18 area, he'll really start swinging for the fences.
If you've ever played Joust, you know how Kronos can go.
I still hear Omega crying.
Yeah.
Well, over on the solo lane, Xaylia's doing super well for himself. You haven't really seen anything.
Yeah,
tower
over there. Tower's still sitting up with pretty good HP there, keeping the Hades pushed away. Gold Fury started up again here from Titan. This time, though, Paradigm, they know what the score is. Let's actually take a listen to Paradigm as they look to counter-aggress.
Oh, Paradigm actually got it there.
Oh, yeah. Go. Attraction coming. Fuck this, cunt up. Oh, baby, triple. Get the D-wards. Go mid and left.
No, push left.
It's Freya down. I'm getting the wards. I trick you could be anywhere, guys. Let's go, boys! Fucking days. I'm coming.
Sprint down.
Come to me so I can heal.
Push tier 2 as well.
Yeah,
push tier 2 as well.
It's fine, dude. I need I'm taking for a bit.
I got heals mid.
I got heal up in 4. Heal up in 4.
Heal me one more time and then...
He's coming.
I don't give a fuck.
Kill him, go. What the fuck? Okay, get out. All up. Heal me, just heal with somebody else, I guess.
Get out.
I should give each other.
Go.
Yeah, let's fucking hope place, guys. I'm 3.5k to spend right now.
Well, you just heard it there. Trixtank and Co. having a good run of it there. Pretty excited about that triple kill from Cubo Fred.
A triple kill off the back of a stolen Gold Fury. That is exactly what Paradigm needed. They not only take back the lead, tie the game up, but they take back the lead, now leading with their own 2,000 gold.
Yeah, 4,000 gold swing in that engagement.
Yeah, very, very big for the black and yellow. Now, one of the things that I want to point out, they yelled at Dazer.
Yeah.
Dazer, of course, if you guys are unfamiliar, he's the coach. Coaches do a lot of picks and bans here, so the Kali ban that we were lamenting so much, I think we know where it came from.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, hey, you can't get them all right, I guess.
Right. I mean, he's done great work. On a serious note, we've talked to the guys from Paradigm, both the players and Zimstar, the manager owner, and Dazer has been an integral part of a lot of their wins, and they win as a team and they lose as a team. Hopefully,
well, it's always very different, right? The perspective of being at the commentary desk versus being in the thick of it, right?
Oh, of course.
Even if you go back and watch your own games, a lot of times you're like, "What was I doing here?" At the time, you're like, "I think I can kill him," and then you look at it, you're like, no, not a chance. You were, that happens to me all the time. Like, I'll sit there and be like, you never do this, and then definitely do it. Okay, here we go. Trixtank, he's the one pulled it, but this time it's the tank, and he's pretty tanky. Shell is popped as well. Aphrodite now linked to him, and the initiation coming forward from Cubo Fred. Doesn't get much out of the Acorns. Going to try to isolate Repicos and get the kill onto the Awelish, but she does have to leap over the wall, and no Awelish ultimate to pull back that Awelish. So away she goes.
Titan.
Hey, the cheeky pillar. Love that pillar.
Just stuck.
Is there a better feeling playing on her than just like getting someone with the unnecessary pillar block while you're running away?
Maybe a pillar impale.
The pillar impale just straight up?
Yeah, in a lane, throw the pillar up, impale him into it. That feels pretty good.
That's pretty good, yeah. I guess so. Fine.
So that's the tough one. Reels likes the flashy plays, not the cheeky plays.
Not the cheeky plays, yeah. He's more of a hot play
Blink
guy.
can her.
Yeah. Reels goes for the highlight reel. Fun ball goes to make the opponent curse a little bit.
Well, over here on the right side, Adder actually trying to get something going here with the Hades. Time stop off the mark. No real CC remaining outside of that kiss from Zaylee. Will stop the rollout from Geb. Knockup comes through. Pushing in the damage is Old Confrey. Rewind comes out and away goes Lobster, but he's back into the thick of it. He's going to beads wall in the air and not get pulled by Wheel. She didn't even fire the ability. Over the top she comes with Suku. Going to try to stick to Lobster, and it will be enough with Feather Step. But here comes the Rat. Acorns coming through, doing a lot of damage to Confrey, but dashing out is Fred. The disengage perhaps called by Paradigm, but now they come back up onto the tree. Yggdrasil going to fall down. Into the back line goes the Rat, continuing to fight against the carries. And down will go Confrey, but now fighting 4 members, and the Cataclysm comes out. Trixtank in trouble as well. Eagles rally over the top, kills Ataraxia. No more silence is available. Repicos slowed down by Bologna. Bludgeon over the top and knocked up. The kiss on the mark from Zalia. Repicos knocked back. Funballer throwing in the in-hands. Will they find it? Feather Step. Knock up. No pull. Yes pull. Now down goes Repicos. And they're going to do it. The Rat died. No, Rat dashed out. Continuing to move forward. Will we see the wipe? We will. It's a deicide. Paradigm wipes Titan at their tier 2.
Completely smoked. It was a 30-second fight. Usually here in Smite, they're much quicker. We did not see the enemy turn around, but Paradigm turned on a dime, looked directly at Titan, took them all out one by one, and now they have a free fire giant right off the windowsill.
I mean, Cuba Fred on this Rat. You just can't give it to him. He is just playing. If you see that team fight, if you see the amount of damage and the amount of work he done in that team fight there, it was absolutely brutal for Titan.
He did everything. I mean, he killed.
He literally did everything. I mean, the Kronos was just baiting time. He wasn't doing any damage.
Yep.
The Anher went in, did no damage and almost died and jumped away. It was Cuba Fred doing all the damage, Trix frontlining, and everyone else just wasting time, basically. The Afro gave great support to the rest of the team, healing them up as they all pushed them, but Cuba Fred was just dashing through, doing a ton of damage.
Yeah, you see the spectator pointing out there. Look at this. 11,500 player damage out of Ratatasker, under 6K for the other 3 members of the team, and of course on her there throwing at about 8,800, but Yeah, the stats don't lie there. Cubo Fred really doing quite a bit.
Cubo Fred during that entire engagement, Reels, was in and out, backline, frontline, in the air, picking different targets, How much value does chaos have? Creating chaos in your opponent's comms, because you want to call your target, but he's everywhere and he's attacking everyone. How much value does that add?
Oh, well, speaking of which, Confrey gets the banish, beads the way. Acorns don't hit. Acorn Barrage does, but not enough.
Bit of a slow beads there. I don't think you expect that banish to come out. If he beads a little bit early, he might be able to stay on him there.
Yeah.
But going back to what you were saying, I mean, it's a great tactic, especially on Rat, where you can dash through all these people. You can dash through a few people and actually go to the other side of their team.
Yep.
So it's almost like a pincer tactic, you know. They don't know where to look. Should we chase the Rat, or do we engage and let the Rat come in from behind us? So it's kind of what Cubo Fred was doing there. His whole team was at the bottom side of the lane. He was on the top. He got Titan so confused that Afro was healing everyone up in the back. The Anher was like, I don't know, like 100 health. He had to jump away. Afro healed him up, and they just re-engaged off Cubo Fred's plays there, and all the time Trix Tank was in their face.
They forced out Confrey's ultimate underneath the tier 2 here. Freya in a sticky place now as Paradigm continues with their momentum here. Geb gonna move forward in the backline. Chooses the Cataclysm, doesn't hit. Pretty Prime's ultimate off the mark as well. They pluck Trix Tank, but there's the Aphrodite ultimate we were talking about. Heavily agility used, moving forward now. Hades ultimate, but they'll be able to burn him down. It looks like Geb shield to save him for the moment. They just don't have that much damage on the side of Paradigm without the Rat, but here he comes, still waiting in the wings, looking for the initiation. Ataraxia gone. Blinking forward is a Rat. Acorn's a hit. 4 members there, maybe? Knockup from Repicos. Repicos in some trouble as a Feather Step comes out. Cubo Fred still linked for the moment. Next heal to come out, he'll re-engage. There it is. Confrey in trouble. Did the birds hit him? They didn't, but he's disarmed. Geb shield to remove the disarm. Phoenix getting quite low, not dead just yet. Fun Baller pops the beads, throws in some more in-hands. Kanye life has fallen. That's 2 members down from Titan. All 5 members of Paradigm still up with an Aphrodite once again. Squirrel goes in, Squirrel does damage. Confrey goes down. Titan is on the last ropes here as their Phoenix on the left side has fallen, and 3 members in the well.
Funball's life was saved by taking down the Phoenix.
Yeah.
One more shot from that Phoenix would have been curtains for the Anher, but luckily for him, the rest of his team knew exactly what was going on. Focused the objective, brings it down, and that's going to be the left-hand Phoenix, the first one of this game going down for Paradigm here as we approach the 25-minute mark, 10,000 gold in the lead.
I want to go back to what Reels was saying earlier in kind of how disruptive the Radtasker's been.
Yeah.
It's been so good. It's been as effective as like a Sun Wukong we've seen be, right, in terms of disrupting the backlines here, but with the assassin level of damage. And yep, well, away they go. Paradigm to disengage here, trying to make something, a big play. Will Repicos, can he actually close the distance onto Zalia? No. With that disarm, he can't get the Feather Step out. Nicely played by Trix, and it's a full-on retreat and a nice spear by Funballer. Oh, but here they come, moving forward. Kanye like may have a blink. There's the blink. Cataclysm there, but nicely done with the ultimate from Zalia to prevent any more damage coming out. Off the mark of Repicos. The Repicos comes. Ataraxia in some trouble. Backside, Pretty Prime. He's going to go down to Trix Tank, and the fight continues. Lobster's going to kill Ataraxia. Let's take a listen to Paradigm's comms as they may win the game here.
Get him! Fair. Oh, the batter stuff.
That's fine.
Keep going. I've thought. Yeah, go kill him.
Oh, what?
Go right. Come. That's
okay.
Two up.
Yeah.
Easy right. Let him take. Ultimate 10.
I will up to.
All up 20. Let's go. You're fine.
Okay.
You're fine.
I had beads anyway.
Yeah. Go back immediately though. Yeah, for sure.
Well, there you go. You hear the calls from Paradigm to go right, take the Phoenix, and fall back immediately. They get what they came for, the 3rd Phoenix to go down. And a real said in the last game, not a lot of games have been rescued from a triple Phoenix wipe.
I'd be remiss to say the one team that did do it was Titan.
Yeah, fair enough.
If I leave that out, I wouldn't be doing my job. Titan is the one team that has come back from the triple Phoenixes down against Cloud9 so many moons ago.
But not when you have a Midgardian male on your carry a Wheeler. I mean, like... See, the thing about Awelix is that her ultimate provides, like, the most absurd steroid in the game. Like, if you read it, it just makes no sense how good it is.
55% attack speed, 50%
it's like
power.
You basically attack twice as fast and hit twice as hard. Yeah, here's Gravity Surge. I mean, you can see at the top end, 70% bonus attack speed and 60 physical power just added at the base. I mean, it's like...
My stats sounded ludicrous. They're even higher in real life.
I mean, the only thing that's even really approaching that, and this is kind of laughable how good it is Seething Howl and Fenrir.
Flaming Spear.
Flaming Spear, not even close.
I like Naja, okay?
Seething Howl is, what, 105 bonus damage and like 60% lifesteal or something crazy at max rank? But, I mean, you see the execution on her, and you really want her to, like, somehow find space in a fight to in-hand.
Right.
But with the blown to disarm and as much disruption as they're getting out of Ratatasker, and as little disruption as they're getting out of Ataraxia, it's very hard for Repicos to find any room in the fight.
And look at this Aphrodite. I mean, 6-0. his scoreline shows there, and he has just done so much work in these team fights. As soon as anyone gets low, they fall back with the Aphrodite, they heal up, and they're straight back in. They've got a movement speed with the Kiss, so they can re-engage quickly. She's got a ton of cooldown, so they can heal up quickly in the backline as well, where realistically, if that happened without an Aphrodite, they'd be looking to go back to the base and take in 45 seconds to get back into the fight, you know?
Yeah, also good to see Xaylia valuing this Rod of Asclepius again.
Yes.
I mean, this item is really, really, really good. I mean, the stats on the item are really amazing. It's one of the few 100 power items in the game. Not to mention it also gives you bonus MS and the bonus heal. So you can see just how fast they are moving.
Fun ball in a moment of just having fun, really showing the identity of this Paradigm crew. Tries to pillar his own Chronos. Just messing around with Lobster, having some fun. They're clearly in the
probably saying that's for feeding in game one.
Pretty much. They do like to rag on Emil, their mid laner. But the game is not over yet. They do have to close the door.
Well, 3 Phoenixes are down. I think it's another time to listen to the Paradigm as they look to close this one out versus Titan.
Heal up, heal up, heal up, heal up. Left out.
I'm switching to tricks.
Help me on the pretty. On Ribcast.
Get him.
Easy!
End the game.
Oh! Kill him!
There we go.
Good job, boys. Good job.
Walla 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 indeed. It's Trix Tank. Gets the big counter or reinitiation, I guess, there in that fight with Eagles Rally and gets the bludgeon as well, dealing a bunch of damage. And Paradigm finds themselves in a very strange position, not only for themselves, but for an EU team at LAN, up and ready, poised to win against the #1 seed.
You know, I bet if we were to ask them, what were you yelling? I don't think they would be able to give us an answer. It's just the raw emotion, the straight energy of coming out here and winning this game the way they did. I mean,
maybe that meant something in Danish. Who knows?
I think they're just yelling. They're getting rid of all that excess energy because it certainly took a lot to win that one.
Yeah, Titan. I mean, tough, right? Because they got that great start out of a Wheelish. They had her really moving along, and then it all
started
fell
collapsing
apart.
after they lost that Gold Fury, to be honest.
Yeah, with Trix Tank skating that steal, and I mean that's
not only did they got the Gold Fury, they got 3.
It was a 4,000 gold swing off of that fight.
How many kills did they get after that?
I think they got 3 more. I think that's where Cuba picked up the triple.
Yep.
The gold.
Maybe a 4th then as well.
Gold Fury and a triple kill on the Rat.
Yeah,
and it was
a really tough position for them. And well, we'll see if Titan can bring it back. And it's kind of like they have their coach, they have their analyst, they have and then Paradigm. Their coach ostensibly makes kind of an awkward call in banning the Kali instead of the Wheelish in that situation, but they still win.
Yeah.
Like Titan, how well can they really sit there and go analyze what they did wrong when
they just can't give them the Rat anymore. They cannot.
Right, yeah, I guess it's simple as that. They said, you know what, the problem was the Geb, not the Rat, but the problem was actually both of them.
Yes.
But it's also, I mean, coming to the point that you're trying to make, it's not always about the X's and O's and making the analysis correct. Sometimes you just push the right buttons at the right time, and that's one of the great things about Smite. It's not all said and done at picks and bans.
Sometimes it just comes down to the Walla Walla.
Sometimes you just walla walla rat, and that's what wins the games.
Well, that does it for us from the commentary desk for game number 3, guys. This is a best of 5 set. It's 2-1 in favor of Paradigm. They are on match point here going into the next game, but let's take it over to the analysts. One more go as Hindu Man and Adonis break down game number 3, guys. Take it away.
Thanks, Bart. We're back here, and Ratatosker not banned out for game 3. I mean, that was kind of your closing sentiment was ban the Rat, ban the Rat, ban the Rat, but Titan did not seem to respect it, and 7-1, I believe 14 or 11, some absurd number of assists.
The thing is, they chose to ban away Ymir again, which I can understand if they're scared of Ymir. He could have potentially been played in the support role as well, so take Ymir off the table, played in EU, we all joke about it, but it's true, he gets played a lot.
It's effective.
However, you pick Geb. If you're going to pick Geb, why would you ban Ymir? Because Geb's very good against Ymir. Shield, removes the freeze. Obviously, the early game damage from Ymir, very, very strong. As the game goes on, can cause some issues. But you can't let Ratatosker get through like that. Titan, that game played fantastic.
No, they played great.
Their composition was
especially
great.
Early.
The Geba-Wheelix combo was strong as anything, and they executed it perfectly multiple times early game. Issue was, Ratatosker got online. Ratatosker destroyed the game.
It was Ratatosker, but it was also, I do want to talk about Titan and how well they played early. The later it got Ratatosker, they couldn't control it, especially once linked to that Aphrodite. Exactly. But Titan had not only a wombo combo, but really a double wombo combo. You have the Geb knock-up, a Wheelix pull. There's that fantastic combo. But it was also the knock-up into the Vulcan ults that were fantastic. Like, they were just on point and instantly.
Very well executed. We saw Geb blink in for the initiation, and immediately as he did that, Wheelix jumps over the wall with Suku, connects with the ultimate, and then the Vulcanal over the top to confirm it. There's nothing. I mean, there was a couple of times Lobster could not even get time to do his ultimate because he was constantly CC'd up, because you caught beads out of a knock-up. Remember that? Being beads, you're going to get knocked up for the full duration. Couldn't get away from it. It worked well for him. They got the first couple of kills of the game based off these combinations, but it just wasn't enough. And then it worked again on Anher. Anher versus a Wheelix and Geb, he's going to have a rough time because he can't leap away because a Wheelix will pull him in. If he doesn't leap away, he's going to get knocked up anyway by Geb and pulled in. Desert Furies hopes his team can turn up, changes the game around.
Yeah, but, you know, great showing from Paradigm. You said that whoever won that game was going to win the set, that they were going to run it. You know,
I feel it's a different story this time. Okay. The reason being I expected the Ratatoska ban then. With Ratatoska,
like that one doesn't count. That one doesn't count. We gave that to them.
No, because we were like, Ratatoska's going to get banned, and then whoever wins that game, it'll go, or will win it out.
You know,
I'm in a commanding position because of it.
You know, I was talking to some people in the back, and they were saying that really Titan was pretty scared of Paradigm coming in. They said they had wanted Cloud9 to win out because it seems that Paradigm has their number, and so far they've shown that. Additionally, you know, we talked about how every single team here has won some LAN within the past year to year and a half. However, the only two teams that have ever won as first seed at LANs were Team Solo Mid at the launch tournament and Cognitive Red at the NA Regionals. First seed does not seem to find success.
No, but this is EU in general as well, though. This is why you see a lot of people think EU is a lot more competitive. I think it's because all teams can take games off each other. Everybody in the EU has a bogey team, right, that they struggle against and they have issues with. If you look at the SPL, what happened there, Titan got 2-0'd by Paradigm. It's the only team that beat them outright throughout the whole season, and it's starting to show through here as well that Titan seem to have real issues up against the Paradigm lineup. I'm not exactly sure what it is that makes Paradigm win out against them. Maybe it's individual play, maybe it's the way they skirmish in the team fights. It's just something that Titans can't seem to put the money on, find the reason for.
They can't seem to find the win, but you know, I do want to talk about Ratatosker and why it was let through. Do you think Titan really had a plan moving forward?
I think they felt that Geb and Wheelix combo was going to be able to deal with it enough. Fenrir was available. A lot of people have spoken about Fenrir being a very good pick against Ratatoska. It can shut him down. The CC chain available to just bring him down out of that. The Brutalize will, do great work to him as well. Causes a lot of issues for Ratatoska. We're not seeing it.
Yeah, and you can see Bird there right now discussing with his team. He's the one who does a lot of the picks and bans, not only analysis for his own team, but researches the other teams as well. I'm sure he's trying to figure out here what they want to run, if they do want to let the Rat through again. I think at this point, though, you can't let it through. You have to take it out.
I think their composition's fine. Ataraxia went very safe again with his Hades. It's looking like we've seen Ataraxia in the solo lane playing very, very safe gods. I mean, he's up against an Afro there. He could have played something a little bit more abusive, but he went for the Hades, fast, clear, hard push, consistently safe in that lane. But the Geba Wheelix Vulcan combo worked very well for them. And
the core seems to be working.
Which we discussed at the start of the whole cast. It was like the core of the team is fantastic together. They work very, very well. I think they can keep that core and leave Ymir up. They should leave Ymir up because Geb will be able to deal with it.
Okay. I'm assuming, though, to leave Ymir up, though, you have to expect Paradigm to pick it up. I mean, EU loves it. Not only does EU love it, but this team specifically loves it.
Not only that, if they don't pick it up, then you get Ymir for Kanye Life, one of the best Ymirs in the world. Why would you not want to have him on that? And we've seen, if you remember, like the world scenario when we saw Titan there, they went for the whole wombo combo of walls win games when they went for the Thor, the Ymir, and they just abused the fact they had those walls to pin people in. More unlikely we'll see the Thor, though, this time because of how the meta is, but it's a possibility. Ymir's a very safe pick for them.
You know, it's interesting. You talk about the wombo combos that they brought back, even since Worlds. Titan always has like a pocket strat. I don't even want to call it pocket strategy. They have these combos. They have perfect execution of them too that other teams don't seem to have. You know, individually, there's a couple players that are up there with the best, but as a whole, the team, doesn't always match up in mechanics, but what they do match up on is team fight potential and execution on these combinations that really no other team really runs this.
That's the real key is between the team of Titan. We said this, they're not individual all-star. There's no all-star on the team. There's nobody that stands out like this guy carries the game all the time. When you do priority of who could carry this game, any one of them could go off and carry the game. But it's not a regular thing of the same person. There's no Zayla, there's no Cyclone Spin, there's no Reels, on this team. It's an all-star team of like talent that work well together and make it function as a unit, and that's very, very important.
You know, it's kind of funny, too, because when we were talking about Paradigm, when we were doing research on these teams heading up into this LAN, is that Paradigm, we felt was like a mix between AFK and Titan, where they have the strong core, they have the mid jungle support, but then they also have Xaylia on the side there, who can always show up, he can always dominate the enemy as well.
Paradigm has the opportunity, this is why when Paradigm were first formed, they had the opportunity of an all-star EU team, because they had the makings of the core, which we see on Titan as being Kanye Life, Pretty Prime, and Repicast combined together in the mid lane. Well, Lobster, Cuvo, and Trix Tank, they're the core and Paradigm. However, solo lane, they've got an all-star, Xaylia. Xaylia can turn up in the fight, and what Paradigm does is they can transition very well into, if Xaylia does go off in that solo lane, they'll transition into a protect the Xaylia compo, let Xaylia go off, just like the AFK does as well. AFK makes sure that Cyclone goes off.
And well, we haven't really seen that too much this tournament. We did in Game 4, once Barracuda returned in the Cloud9 versus Paradigm. You know, Xaylia got ahead early. He even ended up soloing Omega, and he was 7-1 and 11. We just saw him diving 1 versus 4. When Xaylia gets a lead, he runs away with it. And I do want to talk a little bit more about Xaylia, because his Aphrodite play in that last match was phenomenal. I don't think Paradigm would have won if Xaylia didn't have such clutch Undying Love ultimates.
Yeah, he did some good Undying Love ultimates. What he does well is his rotations were pretty good there. He started Beads 2 this time round. He went Beads 1 last time, and he was worried about the threat of being ganked from like what we saw the earlier
Which is fair.
Went Beads 2 this time, so he had to cool down more regularly, even more, just in case there was further ganks onto it or attention paid to him. But then all they really had to do was like weather the storm to an extent of Titan's aggression, and then turn it once Ratatoska had a few items, once he got the crit online. Cuvo was doing work in the jungle. On top of that, Xaylia could link up, heal the team up. Biggest person who had a big issue in that game was Funballer. He got focused a lot.
I don't know if anyone can hear that. This time, Paradigm did 1-2-3 Paradigm, but they waited. So Titan does their 1-2-3 Titan, and then Paradigm screams half a second later, even louder.
This is mind games from Paradigm.
I think so too.
It's really good mind games.
And
the shouting during the games, loud and obnoxiously, but it's obnoxiously on purpose. You're there to throw off the team if you can mentally put the team at a disadvantage. It's like taunting in the game. We see the likes of Omega, Ionic, people like that. They taunt. The NA boys taunt. Us guys will shout crap out. That's what EU does.
All right, guys. We're heading into Game 4, though. Paradigm, they're on match point 2-1. Take it away, Bart.